There were flashing lights and moving parts, referees and crowds to cheer on the competitors as the ADSS Robotics Club held their inaugural Robotics Tournament.
This is the first time we've held a tournament at ADSS. Our Robotics Club is around 3 years old, so it seemed like the right next step for us to grow our program here. This is actually our last tournament before the regionals for the island, so we've got a pretty good turnout today. The robots have to stack donuts onto different stakes, and depending on where they're stacked and what they're stacked on, they can be worth more points, or sometimes they can be worth negative points. So there's a lot of different strategies for playing defense, like you might pick up someone's mobile goal and move it into another part of the court, and then it ends up being a negative for your opponent instead of a positive. There's also the tower in the middle, which it's called Endgame, and so some of the robots here today will be able to climb the tower for more points. And so teams that compete at like Worlds in Texas, they'll all be doing things like that, so they'll be the best of the best.
It's not as hard as some people might think it is. It's we use certain, there's Vex parts that you buy, so it's not just working with straight metal or anything. It is the specific parts, and we use different coding programs to run our bots. I've been here since I started high school in grade 8, and I was one of the founding members of our club.
It's just such a fun and engaging way to learn about math and science. So whether a student is already interested in those things and considers themselves to be good at them, they can jump into robotics. But also students who wouldn't typically do well with like paper and pencil math and science activities, they can jump in and they can just start designing and building and driving and coding. And it's just such a great way to access those parts of learning. A lot of students come into this with some prior knowledge, but a lot of them come in with no real knowledge, and it's all about them learning and guiding their own learning along the way. I'll give them a bit of sort of general knowledge, but they are totally in charge of their learning. So if they want to learn how to code their robot to do something specific, they have to find out how to do it, and I'll provide them with a little bit of guidance, but it's all on them, and that's a really powerful type of learning.
Robotics is a really fun sport, and I think more people should be watching it. It's really cool to come to the games, to see the robots, all the cool designs and effort that goes into it. It's really cool what goes on.